Thanks, Corey. I'm feeling, busy as well. My top comms priority for this week is to finish the tweet threads and to keep sharing the Gitcoin grant and jumping in as many Twitter spaces as I can. And my intention for this goal is, if we have time, to review the tweets process. I think that we kind of clarify it, but maybe just to make sure that we're aligned on the Twitter creation process. And I have no distractions, and I'll pass it to Lauren.
GM, thanks, Almond. I'm feeling fine. My top priorities for the week in comms are the AI April campaign that we're starting out, and then also just making sure that we've got these Gitcoin threads and a thread with all the carts and stuff. So Twitter stuff, and then also working towards a shift of comm strategy. I know that Ahmad put something on the agenda for today, so this is kind of coming out of just a lot of feedback from Griff and Ahmad and other people about maybe we should shift the way that our comm strategy is looking. So my priority is also just to kind of engage in those discussions and see what that looks like and help reprioritize. My intentions for the call are just I guess that's my biggest intention for the call, and also just help support on everything else that's going on in there. And I'll pass it to Suga.
Thanks, Lauren. Hey, everybody. So my distraction is that I'm on vacation. But I wanted to come to the call just to sort of stay in the loop, and also because so my priority, I guess this all folds in together, is that I'm still doing some grant writing this week with deadlines on Thursday. So, but apart from that, I want to be available if I'm needed at all for anything else that's sort of urgent, because I know that with the Gitcoin and stuff. So I'm kind of on, just hanging out, or I don't know. I'm on vacation. It's complicated, but I'm here if you need me. And I'm grant writing, and I'm excited to hear what Ahmad and comm strategy. I'm on board with that. So I'll pass it to Ahmad on that note.
Thanks, Suga. You should try and take time off if you can. Decompress. Anyway, my intentions for this week are to send out the newsletter. Also, there's an email that I want to send out to the donors as well. So it's mainly just about sending out emails. Also on the marketing strategy side, what we'll probably do is maybe start with a shared doc of what we want to happen, and we'll get feedback from people like Lauren and everybody else here, of course, and then maybe next meeting we could have a large part of the meeting where we just talk about what would make sense for us as an overall strategy, maybe focusing more on the marketing side and less on the day-to-day things that we need to do with comms. So that's it's probably a bit too early for us to talk about that this week, but probably next meeting would make sense. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. And that's pretty much it from me. And I'll pass it on to Franco.
Thank you, Ahmad. I'm feeling good today. My top comms priority is going to be catching up with documentation. I know there's some Celo and Polygon things that need to be updated. I don't know if there was an issue created or not, but I know that I have to work on that and any other documentation stuff. Intentions for the call is just catching up. Distractions, I need to leave in 25 minutes. Sorry, but that's it. And I'll pass it to Monique.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Just heard the GM part.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I'm just here to sync with you guys and give updates and be in the loop. I'm not distracted, and I'm not sure who's left. Griff?
You called it. Yeah, so my intentions are really just to, there's a new contributor, Web3 Beach. I'm sure many of you guys have seen him. I really want to push forward with getting him onboarded slowly, and try to bring him into like packing the comms rock stars. And so I thought I would just put that in as a topic. And then distractions, I'll probably be just listening and doing other work. And I might have to leave in like 20 minutes.
Nicola, you want to take it?
Yeah, I can. Okay, ciao guys. Yeah, my focus for this week. I'm actually thinking that it's time for me to do another 3 threads, so maybe I'll just connect the one from the last round and make it longer. I would also love to have reviewed a little part of documentation around mandatory updates and add it to the documentation, so I'll ping you on that, Franco, as well. And another plan was to update the homepage with the new topic for this month. That is done. And yeah, just to see, I'm definitely also planning to dive into that issue that was assigned to me the last time with creating this guidance for projects to get more donors. And I wanna start working on that. Ahmad assigned this to me last week. And no distractions. I might do some other work on the background, and maybe I'd love to hear some more ideas if there's any more vision around the sub-verification and how it's going to affect the comms and these calls. And that's it. I'm gonna pass it to Carlos.
GM, just want to say hello. Caught me a little off guard there. I'll turn on my camera real quick. All right, good to be here. I'm excited to be here for my first comms call and join the Giveth Galaxy. And I hope to be connecting with everyone one-on-one in the next couple of days, just to see how I could be of most use to everyone.
Hey, Carlos, thanks for joining. Nice to see you here.
I've got the hoodie on because my hair is kind of crazy right now.
Amazing. Cool. Right. Do you want to pass it to somebody? Still a couple people in here. Mitch.
Yeah, I was going to say Mitch because of the burgers.
Yeah. I'm just here to hang out and listen to what you guys are doing. I have nothing to contribute, so I will pass it back to Corey.
Could pass it to, I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. Makizi?
Yes, Makizi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I really don't have anything to say. I just joined the community call to listen in and see how I can contribute to the community group. That's it. I have no distractions. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Thanks. I think oh no, Santi, you're here. Hello.
Hello, Corey. Thank you. I'm just here to sync up and listen the new strategy you guys are gonna presenting and the rest of the topics, and no distraction. And I think I should go.
Thanks, Santi. I'm also on vacation, but givebacks, it's time to do givebacks. So I'm doing givebacks in the background and streaming this call at the same time. So I'm not really here. I'm just streaming. Back to you, Corey.
Okay, cool. Thanks. The group got bigger. Nice. Welcome, everyone, to the comms call for today. I'll be facilitating. And I know a couple of you mentioned that you might need to leave early, so I may just change the agenda around a little bit. But So the first topic of discussion for sure is Gitcoin as well. Just wanted to make sure to have that on the agenda to check in on where we are with things, and make sure we've got everything covered for week 2, because we have exactly 1 more week until the round ends. So just going to note that here. And so some of those activities are focusing really now on like outreach, and repping, like shilling Giveth publicly, like in Twitter Spaces and elsewhere, but then also want to touch base on things like emails as part of our communications efforts. So maybe briefly to start, just again want to highlight that we have a building list of Twitter Spaces, and we want to coordinate as much exposure to Giveth as possible between these spaces. So I've just been consistently adding a few for this week and wanted to see if anyone else has any to flag. I'll drop this in the chat right here and would love to add more here because I don't know, I added these 3 for this week, but there's got to be more, I think, than 3 Twitter Spaces that are relatable to Giveth's grant. I mean, we have so many grants to potentially shill that I think we could apply to almost like any space. Does anyone know of any that are missing here off the top of your mind? Just want to make sure I can add them in right now, but otherwise, please take a look at this list and would appreciate if you'd search through Twitter a little bit. I think as a group, we could uncover a lot. Okay, no. Then I guess the other question is, does anyone know right off the bat right now if they're available for some of these? Because it would be great if we could get some coverage, especially like there's these spaces with Susie, who's quite friendly with Giveth. I know she runs spaces all the time. If anyone sees that they're immediately, like anyone knows right now that they're available, that would be cool. Yeah, I'll click through them and see if I can join. If I can join any of them, I'll just put my name down, and maybe anybody else who's like in the call, because it's kind of like time zones are weird. Like, just click on the Twitter Spaces. If you can make it, like, set a reminder for it and put your name in the who can join. Yep, sweet. So yeah, let's keep building it out. Whenever I come across something, I just throw it in here. So maybe like just keep this tab open somewhere on your computer, and when you're playing around on Twitter, let's keep building it out, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot also towards the end of the week in all different time zones. So that's a great way for us to keep shilling. And otherwise, does anyone have anything to add around like other shilling efforts or any? Just want to keep it open for the group to talk about.
Actually, I think that Carlos might know a bunch of Twitter Spaces that might be happening. You organize great spaces, so maybe if you can help us. I know that you're new. Sorry to just throw this to you, but maybe you can add some spaces that you know that might be happening these days.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So there's one that I have organized on the 8th. It's called Colorín Colorado, esta ronda se ha acabado. That's how you finish a book in Spanish. so it's a LATAM based spaces. I'll share that with you right now. I'm trying to keep an eye for others. Also, I'll take a look at the community board that Gitcoin has, and there's someone else. I think Solar Punk Guild has around the clock spaces. I don't see any of those here. It's called Gitcoin Radio, and they let me see. Yeah, they just take turns. They take turns hosting, and they do pretty good. They have, there's some of them. So that's the one that's on the 24th. But Urbanica, I'll look, and then I'll add them to this list.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, we have the one listed here, but I guess maybe there's others. I think I'm going to keep searching more today. So yeah. And a 24-hour one means anyone can jump in at any time on those days, I guess. So thanks, Carlos. That's awesome. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I just wanted to do a quick check-in regarding like email cadence because we've got the newsletter going out. Actually, Ahmad, when is it being sent out? No, we have the final reviews in.
Yeah, ideally, I want to send out the newsletter by today. I think after everyone gave their input, it's ready to go now. So I'll send it out later today. And then, yeah, for the Gitcoin email to donors, I can send it maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe Thursday. Yeah, as the first email that goes out. And then I'll send like one final one like a day before the round ends. So I guess on the 8th.
Sorry to jump in again. I just something occurred to me. Do we have a list of projects listed on Giveth that are also participating in the Gitcoin beta? Because it might be, I think we might have enough time to try to wrangle them all together for a Giveth hosted space where it would allow us to also cross promote, the Giveth grants as well, right? And all the features there. So that might be a good option.
That would be cool. Yeah. We have a list of partners, the blog post. They're not, some of them are Giveth projects, but not really all of them. So if you could help maybe put together a Twitter space next week, that would be awesome. Let me share with you. This is the blog post. Yeah, I'm at already. Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could help with this, but I'm not sure where would I find the list of the project that I could maybe, if I go through the list and see the names, I'll be, these are actually projects that we have on Giveth. Maybe, I can put them on it.
I think, well, if anyone's down to like break away after and kind of jam on this or a little later today, we can do that. But then also we could just start putting this on socials. Like just making a call out for projects that are both listed there to just list themselves, and that would help us kind of compile the group a little quicker, I think.
My Discord started distorting like crazy right when you started describing an idea here, and now I'm trying to catch the back end of it. Just in a nutshell, you're talking about getting projects together in a space?
Yeah, so projects that are on Giveth, that are Giveth listed projects that have a grant on the beta round, doing a space dedicated to just those, right? So it would allow us to like cross over the grants on Giveth as well. So a good first step might be just to put out on socials that we're looking for them, right? So that we can start the list a little faster.
Okay, and
one's down to jam on this a little later. We can just scan through the projects on Giveth and see which ones we can identify really quick.
Yeah, I'm down to help if you want. Just maybe you can DM me, and if I can support here, I'm happy to.
Yeah, cool. Also, just gonna point down really quick, this link is showing in the link 17 great Giveth Galaxy projects, but then the Medium like metadata, what's called metadata here, says 23 great Giveth Galaxy projects. And actually, I thought we were at 24.
It is 24. I fixed the metadata, but I'm not sure that's a huge deal. Like I can't change the 17. I did change the 23 to 24 in the metadata, in the meta title, meta text. So I don't know, but probably we shouldn't lose sleep over that.
Yeah, I'm just, it's weird to see 3 numbers, so I was wondering what's going on with that. Okay. All right, well, yeah. Okay, well then, just really quick, as we skim past the emails, are we good with that? To send out, since we're going to send out the newsletter, which talks a lot about the grants, about Gitcoin already, that goes out today, and then having an email go out to donors on the 4th, and then a second one going out on the 8th to remind everyone to donate. Does that sound reasonable in terms of like email communication?
Yeah. Just real quick, I was thinking of creating a new link, but I didn't know if that would be worth the hassle, and also it might just confuse things. I could correct it, but I would have to correct it in a clunky way. So I just left it, just FYI.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can look at that outside of the call, but good to know. Okay, cool. So that's emails, and then outreach efforts. I know. So yeah, Jake is not here. Ahmad, I saw you're also like on the list with like partner outreach. Just wanted to check if there's anything. I was going to check like people who have been actively in outreach, if there's anything needed from comms, anything else that we need to make sure that we produce. We had like clarified an outreach draft, like a message with Algene, and I checked in with her, but is there anything else needed? Are people feeling comfortable doing outreach for the grant?
Yeah, I think we have enough marketing material for it, and we know what to say, and we have all the links and everything. So I don't really think there's anything else we need from comms at this stage. Like, unless someone else has an idea or like suggestions.
I know. Go ahead.
I was just having a call with Jazz, and we wanted to implement, or just wanted to implement some feedback from Janelle Sir, who has done really great on Gitcoin rounds, and it's like having a 1-pager with some key information of Giveth, and it's in the works. I don't know if you have it linked there, but it's this document that says, like, it basically has all the projects of the Giveth Galaxy also that are in there, and kind of like some key information.
Sorry, can you still hear me? I, again, was hearing weird things in Discord.
We hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, interesting. So breakdown of our grants. So it's just like some more information on like how we're involved in our blog posts. So this seems to coincide a lot with a request. Okay, I see. It's like a combination of like our newsletter information and where our grants are in the round.
Yeah, okay, I think the idea is to have like kind of like everything in place, turn it into a PDF, and that they have the links for the grants. They have kind of like key information of what we have done recently, what we plan to do soon, and kind of like all this key information.
Okay. Does anyone else have thoughts on this? Like, how does that make sense? That we create a PDF from comms to be circulated? Is this to do outreach with the partners?
Yeah, mostly through DMs. So, for example, talk with Griff's contacts. and any other personal outreach that we do.
Griff,
Are we
while you're
talk-
here,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go. You start.
Well, while you're here, then maybe I'm trying to clarify the difference between maybe what's being created here right now and this Notion page that had come up as a request last week.
The outreach for Gitcoin is a little bit outside, is like its own whole beast, you know? And that board is for ecosystem grants like ENS or Optimism and, Ethereum Foundation, Zcash. We have all these grants and we're managing them through Notion boards now in the fundraising group. And Giveth has its own board. But every group has its own board, and then there's a master list. We're trying to get really organized in the chaos that is the fundraising group. And then this is more just like us trying to accumulate links for the different groups that are fundraising in Gitcoin. And Gitcoin, I feel like everything that we're doing in fundraising is really focused more on grants. And Gitcoin is more like marketing, It's more of a comms thing. So it feels just a little like a hybrid, and it doesn't fit the rest of our fundraising scheme.
Right, or maybe just a bigger scale. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of whittle down to like the core things that we should focus our energy around in these last days, like the last 7 days. So it does sound like, a 1-page PDF would be really great to have as soon as possible.
DMs are everything from my experience with Gitcoin. I feel like DMs, like we can do all the mass comms that we want, but like putting a cheat sheet in, sliding it into their DMs has a lot of impact. So that's what I'm doing. That list, most of them are on. I'm making this huge long DM, which many of you might be getting right now. Algene is going wild, and it like kind of just is like, here's a cheat sheet, and that's what I'm doing. But I think if anyone wants to help with Gitcoin outreach and DM people your list, like, I don't know. That's what I've had. That's what I think makes the most experience. When someone says, oh yeah, thanks for the hookup. Eventually I'm going to donate and I'll reference your sheet,
Okay. All right. I'm going to create an issue around this.
It used to be, they used to have a cart feature. This is like a replacement of the cart.
Okay.
Like the share your cart.
Yeah. And I think it's great maybe to put like a what we've been doing thing, but as you can see, this is already 3 pages. So I'm thinking like if we want a 1-pager, like we have so much going on here, like what's the most important thing having, I guess we still want a breakdown of things that we've done, but I do feel like our grant is already pretty to the point. But maybe in a nutshell, if we could just define that really briefly so that whoever working on this can do it fast, what would be the most important components of the sheet? Maybe we can see about saving space and getting like a lot more of it in here, but it's just, I'm not sure anyone would read all of this. It's as long as our grant, right?
I think the most important is that chart and making sure the chart is pretty, and that people can kind of don't miss any. That's it. I think that table, like if it was just the table, if it was just a pretty picture of the table, I would be happy with it.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, well then we'll just have to see across the team who has capacity to work on this, or maybe can be worked on together.
I volunteer to work on it right now.
Okay, and do you feel good about making it pretty? Maybe we can add a tweak. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a way that we can have Rodri add something cool to it, or if someone else has another idea.
Cool, be great. I can grab something in the next hour and a half, and then have it to be peer reviewed and improved open if needs to.
Okay, awesome. Then we can review it. Thanks, Kotabe. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well then, yeah, that sounds great. Is there any other ideas to bring up regarding Gitcoin? Anything else to prioritize for the week? Make sure you donate and start building your cards now, because there's so many things. I was thinking I'll build one card every day and set the gas low. So many factors to consider here. So like the earlier you actually get on it, don't postpone it until the very last day to donate, or you might like not be able to, or end up having to spend a lot of money on gas.
Yeah, actually just like build your carts and then just wait. And I would say like it's hard. The gas prices are so bad right now. Build your carts, and the worst part is you have to approve every round, and so then the approve has to go through, and then you have to set the other thing, and you can't set the second transaction until you do the approved transaction. So like I don't think it makes sense to actually set with low gas. It really is, the UX for Gitcoin across the board has been horrible. I would just like full stop. So I would just like set your carts and then just check the gas prices. And when it's at an acceptable level, go for it. I would say last chance would be like this weekend. Saturday night, Sunday mornings are pretty chill usually. And good luck. I mean, I probably spent I'm donating to a lot of grants, and I probably spent I don't know. I'm halfway through, and I probably spent about $500 in gas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What? But a lot of the rounds I'm donating to 30 projects, 40 projects. So it's a different game. I have the social support game that I'm playing. So the other thing that sucks is you might as well, for every project you're going to pay somewhere between $3 to $5 in gas. I mean, if we're lucky, $2 in gas just to donate to each individual project. So 1 QF on Giveth, long story short, 1 QF on Giveth.
I have another question. I should have maybe brought this up in the Communitas call beforehand, but what about also acting as an onboarding, resource for or kind of doing a Gitcoin walkthrough community call or something like this, where almost like a donation party, but quite educational.
Yeah, I did that in the last AMA call last Wednesday, and I'd be happy to do another one tomorrow.
Yeah. Did you get a lot of people in there? Because I'm just wondering, maybe there's ways we can, or we could even do it a day later if that makes sense, to give it a little bit more time to promote it. But that might be an interesting thing to do, to bring our community together and encourage people to donate. And hey, we'll be there to help you troubleshoot or
I would just say, any spaces that you go into, you can always tell people that they could come in. I think that we kind of missed the opportunity in the Twitter space that happened right before the last AMA to invite those people over to the AMA. But I think that also if we're planning to do another Twitter space this Wednesday right before the AMA, that's always a great time to invite people, and maybe we can do additional calls or something. But that's the one that I'm willing to commit to and help people in.
For tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just so I can write the time here, what time is the call tomorrow?
It happens like right after the Twitter Space time. I think it's 10 a.m. Costa Rica time.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if anyone is joining spaces or promoting this in any way or an outreach, yeah, we can also just, I think, offer that. Might also be good to do internally, you know. I'm going to slot some time for that as well. Maybe I can join that tomorrow specifically for that purpose. All right, cool. Well, that's Gitcoin. So I think the name of the game really is like, let's just keep pushing outreach this week and be everywhere that we can in spaces. And yeah, just be familiar with setting yourself up on Gitcoin. So yeah, let's go for that. The next topic on the agenda, I just wanted to reference this, is we have an update due soon for the Giveth project. Just to put that on the radar, I wanted to see if someone could commit to drafting it, just at least so we get a draft going of our updates. I have this slotted as due May 10th. I think that is our final date actually to have this updated by. So it is coming up pretty soon. So it would need to be drafted just by the end of the week. It should be fine.
I'm not the person, but I just want to also mention that it should be easy and fast, right? Because exactly as you're pointing at this issue, everything is pretty much done. So it just needs somebody to compile it into a nice written form.
Exactly. So we actually already have this bullet pointed pretty much. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can take it. If anyone does have capacity, though, that would be really awesome. So just let me know. And I want to just be conscious of time. So just checking in. So I'll go through this briefly on the landing pages. We can focus that on that again, I think. So we have a couple of things at the bottom I want to make sure we get to. But just FYI, we have an onboarding landing page that, like, Ahmad has accepted reviews. I had done a first review, and Suga checked it out, and also Lauren. But I just wanted to also see maybe if, like, from the project side, if there's anyone that would want to take a review, so we can get the content a little bit more fleshed out. And since this will be used, you know, the idea of this landing page is really for new people who land on our homepage, to then who go down the onboarding route, clicking on those buttons will land on a page that's going to, you know, onboard them and walk them through like how to use Giveth. So I just think it would be nice to have maybe like another perspective in here also from like the project side. So just wanted to highlight that because we should really get this finalized as soon as possible. It's kind of been hanging around for a while.
I can go in and have a look there and go through the round, do the testing.
Okay, cool. That would be awesome. And then otherwise, I think it would be great if we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but starting a verification landing page where this also kind of hits the project team or the verification team for sure. But the idea is there really to start drafting a page that describes our verification process and what the benefits are of being a verified project and how to get verified and what we do on the back end to verify projects a bit, right? So, and this could also flow into SEO as well. So if someone would be interested to work a little bit on that, don't have to set a deadline for it right now since we're in the middle of a lot of other things, but at least to start drafting maybe like bullet points around this or like key ideas would be really helpful, because even if you're not going to draft the full thing, at least having like the important points listed out would help someone else draft it.
So I don't know if maybe from the verification team side, like someone could commit to at least providing the information that we need.
I feel like we've done something similar in the past. The Tropical Mango was drafting this email that went out to the people, and it was actually having all this kind of guides already in it. I don't know if any one of you remembers this. I remember I was reviewing that, and it was basically part of a campaign that she was working on, and there was this guidance already crafted. So maybe we can just like reuse this content and not to try spend too much time on it. I'm happy to support on this. Also, anyone else can do this because we have it all in the documentation basically. So maybe just like reuse this. I'm happy to find it. If you can tag me.
No, listen, we did. Sorry to interrupt, but just to say, yeah, I sort of already reappropriated all that, or we reassigned me to all of that. So yeah, we've definitely, I didn't actually hear everything you were saying, Corey, but all of that information you're talking about, Nicola, has been resurfaced.
Right. So we're just looking for maybe specific information that would feed in, this task. So creating like a project around creating a landing page around our verification process. So Yep.
Yeah, and I'm happy to find that email. And also, please, if you can tag me into that previous issue so that I don't lose the track of it.
Okay, I'm just tagging you here. Thank you. Cool. Ahmad, I think maybe you added this. So the first simple landing page is now live.
Yeah, so this was the one that we did like a couple of weeks ago. So now we have a basic template that we can use for other ones. So yeah, it's like ready now. So hopefully if we make new landing pages, they'll be a lot faster.
Yeah, so take a look. I'll drop the link here as a point of reference. And we'll be creating more of these. That's for SEO purposes specifically. I think, right, to sit on the back end a bit. But yeah, this is the standard template that we've been provided. So pretty easy. All right. I want to be conscious of time. So maybe it would make sense that we talk a bit about Giveth marketing strategy while we still have proper time in the call, because I know that was added here last minute, and I just want to touch on that first. I think someone had mentioned it in their check-in. It might have been Griff, but I see that he's left here. So in case anyone else needs to drop out, I just want to make sure we get to that. Ahmad, you had added this, right?
Yeah, so like I said, I think we would talk about this in more detail next week, but just on a high level, I think like one of the things that we're struggling with is we need to get more donors in and more users on our platform. And most of the work that we're currently doing is just engaging with the audience that already know about us. So that's sort of like the main thing that we want to change, is to expand our circle and to get more people using Giveth. So that's a combination of getting new users, new donors, and then on the project side, of course, like all the work that the team is doing there to get more projects and to basically make more like flywheel effects where like a project would come on and they would bring in their audience, and then we would get more more people donating that way. Yeah, so there's all this like stuff that we need to do, but the main idea is like to focus not just on like the business as usual stuff that we do for comms, like updates on the product and all that, which is important, but I think like for this meeting especially, we may want to switch it to be more of a meeting that's focused on how do we get more users, basically.
Yeah, and I'd like to also add to that something I was thinking of is like we should do maybe a little bit of an analysis of our current stuff and cut things out of scope. Like some of our Twitter spaces are like great and popular and lots of people come, but some of them are like not as popular. And so we should like look at like who's joining which ones and then be like, let's not do any more like this, but let's do these ones. So like looking at what we're currently doing and cutting some things from scope. And then also just like with the Twitter, like what's effective, what's not effective. Can we actually just tweet once a day and it will like meet our goals better? And so then I think like using the KPIs and then having them like inform like what we're actually doing. I think this is something we haven't really been doing much of. And it feels like we're just like growing and growing our work without really ever questioning like, is this useful? So, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, to add on that, it's also, I don't necessarily see this as like, we've talked about this before, and like, I don't see this as replacing this call with more strategic conversations. I actually see it as likely an additional call because we need both. We need coordination across like implementation of things. And especially considering we work async throughout the week, this is the one time we come together to talk about like existing work that may need discussion. But 1 hour is not very long to then also go into strategic conversation. Like strategic conversations also need their own space, right? So it might be looking at having a second call so we can hold the appropriate amount of space for both types of work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the strategy conversation would be more of like maybe like a one-off thing, or like at least like it wouldn't be something that we would need to do every week. But what we would need to start doing more every week is more efforts on marketing as opposed to just, like the normal things that we're doing for comms. So it's about maybe expanding the scope slightly, but yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. If we could fit it in 1 hour, we will. But if we can't, we can like figure out maybe expand it or do something different.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything to add?
Sounds great to me.
Are you in the library, Suga?
I've got a sleeping child next to me.
Okay.
It's like the same thing.
Good luck. Okay. Nice.
I did want to throw out one idea that I kind of briefly discussed previously was try to target more native Web3 users. So going on Web3 socials, which does incur more work. But if we can do something like a strategic partnership with Lens Protocol or even some of the apps that are building on there, like Favor or Orb or any of those, and try to really tap, it's already people with wallets, it's already people that are active, right? So 100% of them have wallets as opposed to whoever is on Twitter. It might be a really good conversion if we put some effort into that. And I don't know exactly how to best curate the content for those platforms. I'm still experimenting with it for my personal and Web3 Beach. But it just seems like it might create some more immediate results, especially if we can tap into strategic partnerships.
Yeah, I'm all about strategic partnerships, in my opinion. It's a lot easier than trying to just talk into the world.
So I'm visualizing this as maybe doing month-long campaigns with Favor, for example, where they would amplify projects that we kind of feed to them. And then Favor would, benefit from marketing, and then this would be like their contribution to public goods as well, right?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Favor. Am I spelling it right? F-A-A-V-E-R?
P-H-A-V-E-R. It's mobile first lens app. So Favor and Orb are mobile first, and then there would be Lenser, which might be a little more difficult to get into just because they're already so big and have so much traction. But we can try. I can DM a couple of people at those teams.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense to at least explore conversations with them, right, and find out what would what would a partnership like that ideally look like. I mean, I know people like to support public goods, but like, sometimes it's more. There should maybe be something a little bit more to it. But I think that's a really cool idea for sure. Okay. Anybody else? And we can circle back to this conversation, of course. But just wanted to jot down any ideas that come out from the group firsthand. No. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we've got a few minutes left. Just wanted to update, like in the call that we just had in the Communitas working group right before this hour, we were talking about organizing another Twitter space for our PFP collection. We'll just talk about the givers, but this time engaging members of the givers community, so current giver holders, to come and share and to gather in a space with us. So we're talking about a date like May 17th to do this. And what would be really interesting, I think, is Almond had mentioned this too, like if we combine, and Ashley, you referenced this as well, if we combine just outreach efforts with, I think if we solidify that Twitter space, we could spend a little bit of time promoting it maybe through outreach to, we want to find maybe holders with larger followings to come and talk. First off, to invite them, but then also we had been talking about doing outreach to potential influencers for the PFP collection, and this could also be a way to engage with them quickly. So if they agree to promote the PFP collection and receive one, then we can see if they can also come into the space, and so on and so forth. So that would definitely be an idea that we could tangibly work on to maybe create a valuable space that would give a lot more exposure to the collection. I was wondering if anyone, I've already been involved with building a bit of an influencer list. I was wondering if anyone else would be willing to jump on this project with me. Maybe it's you, Almond. Maybe that's the most natural is for us to work together on this, because also it's space coordination and otherwise, but I didn't know what your capacity is and if anyone else might want to be involved with this.
To make the outreach, right? To the Vlad and let's say the influencers.
Right. And yeah, exactly.
Sure. I was wondering, because I know that was something that we discussed, and then it kind of vanished because of Gitcoin and everything happening. But I think that we should just jump into a goal and decide how to move forward into that, because actually I got confused in the topic of the Twitter space. I thought that it was going to be about NFTs as funding mechanisms, but now you're mentioning that it's more regarding the givers, which is perfect. I don't mind. But yeah, I think it would be great if we can just jump into a call, you and I, and align into this to just be super clear, and for me to start organizing it.
Yeah, I think that topic is still relevant, by the way. It doesn't have to be just exclusively givers. It's just talking about NFTs for funding public goods, right? Which is kind of the points of where we want to go, right? To enable nonprofits to do the same at some point. It's written in our grant, and so this could be a very good way to talk about it, but while inviting giver holders and, so, okay, we'll sync on that. And if anyone else has something to add, definitely welcoming ideas around this. All right. Then finally, there's the Give Power notifications update. Do you have something for that, Ahmad?
Yeah. So I talked to Monique about this last week, And basically, the way that our DApp is organized, we can't actually send out all the emails that we want to, since it just like we don't have notifications for them. So let me just briefly share my screen. So initially, we wanted to send out all of these emails here. So like if there's an update to a boosted project, we send an email. But the way that Notification Center works is that if a project gets updated, it doesn't link to Give Power. So it just gets updated, right? Like there's no tie-in with Give Power. So like the reason for the update is not tied to the notification. So like, yeah, from all of these emails that we want to send, the only one that makes sense is basically to send out a notification to the owner of a project that their project, got like a boost, basically, which is basically on the sheet here, it's 5.1, right? Like that's the only one that makes sense to send a email to, because all the other ones are not tied to Give Power. They're just tied to something that happened on the project. So yeah, that's something maybe I can speak with Lauren about later on. But yeah, like just wanted to let everyone know about that.
Okay, thanks, Ahmad. Does anyone have anything to comment there? Okay. All right. Well, we hit the top of the hour basically now. So I would say just let's do this with the Gitcoin round. Thanks everyone for joining today, and reach out if you need anything. And talk to you soon.
Thanks, Corey. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Corey. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, Corey. Bye.